In the third unit, we will say about the linear time invariant systems. In the first unit itself, we will study about what is linear system and what is time invariant system. If any system is following these two properties, then we can tell that is the time invariant system. Okay, and for the time invariant systems only we can able to apply this convolution property. Basically, this convolution is for finding the overlapping portion between the two signals, and one separate unit is there, that is the fourth unit, where we will see about this convolution. Okay, and here we will study the properties of the LTI system for the continuous time domain and for the discrete time domain also we will see, and we will study about the block diagram representations. All those things we will see in our third unit. And in the second unit itself, we have seen for the continuous signals how we can able to apply the Fourier series and Fourier transform and Laplace transform. And already I said that for the discrete time signals we need to apply DTFT. Okay, and the counterpart of the Laplace transform is the Z transform. Okay, Z transform is not there in your syllabus, but I will try to teach some basics of the Z transform also. And for the discrete time signals, the Fourier transform is DTFT, that we will see here. Okay, next. Now in the fourth unit, convolution and correlation are there. Convolution is for finding the overlapping portion between the two signals, where one signal is fixed and another signal will be moved over that one. Okay, as it is moving, how much amount of overlapping portion is there, that can be identified by using this convolution. Okay, then coming to this correlation. Correlation is for finding the similarity. Actually, it is for finding the similarity between the two signals. We can able to identify in between the two signals. If we find the similarity between one signal with itself only, okay, actually that has to be delayed. One signal and the same signal has to be delayed. In between these two, if you find a similarity, that is called autocorrelation. But if you find the similarity between the two different signals, then that is called cross correlation. About that one you will see here. And in the communication based subjects, this correlation property will be helpful while finding this power spectral density with respect to noise. Actually, we need to find the signal to noise ratio. In that case, it will be helpful. So it is a basic course. It has to be learnt compulsory in order to understand the communication based subjects also. So, and in the fifth unit we will say about the sampling. So actually sampling is for the, simply I can able to tell, in order to generate the discrete time signal we can able to use the sampling. Sampling is the process by which we can able to convert the particular continuous time signal into the discrete time signal. Okay, so and in how to apply the sampling means based upon the sampling theorem that we will see here. Okay, so ideal sampling will be there and flat top sampling. In case of practical sampling, flat top sampling is there. All those things we will see. If you don't follow this sampling theorem, there is effect called aliasing effect will be occurred. Okay, so because if you don't follow the sampling theorem, aliasing effect is occurring means we cannot able to reconstruct the original signal properly. From the sampled signal again we need to get the continuous signal. So the reconstruction of that particular continuous signal cannot be possible if you don't follow the sampling theorem. Okay, that we will see in our fifth unit. Next, so this is about the syllabus. Now course objectives. Whatever I have told till now, and all these things will be known to you at the end of this particular semester. That is our course objective. So what is our course objective? Particularly I can able to say that you should be familiar with the transforms. Okay, signals and systems means you should be familiar with the transforms. What are those transforms means? Generally Fourier transform is there, Laplace transform is there, and discrete time Fourier transform also we have. And by using the Fourier series you can able to get the frequency domain representation of the periodic signals, continuous time periodic signals. All these things we will see in our syllabus. So you should be familiar with the this particular transforms and all those things, and what type of systems are available, and what is LTI system, what is the convolution property, correlation property, all those things you will be known in this particular course. Okay, then course outcomes. So these are the 5 course outcomes are designed for this particular subject, that is signals and systems for bioengineers. And CO1 is apply various properties of the transform techniques to solve the continuous and discrete time LTI system. So you will be known about this particular continuous time continuous and discrete LTI system. I told if the system is allowing or if the system is satisfying the linearity property and the time invariant property, that is called LTI system. and if that particular system can able to process the continuous signals, that is called continuous time LTI system. Okay, if that particular system can able to process the discrete signals, then we can tell that is a discrete LTI system, discrete time LTI system. So this is a basic lecture. Total this terminology may be the new to you. Okay, from next lecture onwards, one by one we will be seen. Okay, and this is about the second CO, where you will be known about how to analyze and categorize the LTI systems and all those things we will see. And third CO is related to the further studies. That means by using this particular subject, you can able to learn by your own you can able to learn about the another subjects like for the biomedical students, you have BSP, biomedical signal processing. So this is the basic subject. If you know this one, you can able to learn that subject also. Okay, by your own. And we will perform some MATLAB is also there for you signals for this subject. Using that one, we will perform the experiments also on the signals and systems. And here already I told about this convolution and correlation. About this one also we will see. Okay, so this is about the course outcomes. And these are the textbooks we can able to use for this subject, and the standard textbook is this one, that is author is OpenM M Nawab. Okay, and this is the standard book. You can able to get this one from the library, and these are some reference books we have given. And I will suggest one book, that is SCAM series, signals and systems. This SCAM series you need to follow. Okay, where the problems are very good. Signals and systems means totally mathematical subject only, and you need to know about how to apply the integral, all those things. So you can able to prefer this particular book, SCAM series, where lot of problems will be there, and the important points will also be available. So after completion of this lecture, you need to practice from this textbook or any first local author textbook, next this particular foreign author textbook, standard book you need to follow. Then you can able to go for this SCAM series. Okay, then this is about the books. And now in this lecture we will say about what is signal and what is system. With this we will conclude this lecture, because this is the basic lecture. I am giving the information about what is signal and what is system. Okay, so signal is nothing but any information we can able to consider as a signal, whatever it may be. Now I am talking in the sense of my speech signal is there, that is also signal only. Image is a signal, video is a signal, audio is a signal. I said already voice is the signal. So all these things are signals only. Okay, any information is nothing but that can be considered as a signal. Okay, then and the another definition for the signal is a function of one or more independent variables. Okay, a function of one or more independent variables means with that definition we will start here. That is, for example, f of x is there. F of x is one signal. I am telling it is one signal. If you observe this one, where two letters are given here, one is f and second one is x. What is the signal means here f is the signal. Here f is the signal, and f can also be taken as the dependent variable. Dependent variable. F of x is one signal or f is the signal, and f can also be taken as the dependent variable. What about x? X is the independent variable. X is the independent variable. Okay, f is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable. By giving the values to the x, we will get the values for the f. Okay, that means in general what we can able to tell, by having the values or by giving the values to the independent variable, that is x, we will get the values for the dependent variable. So some relation is there in between these two, x and f. That relation I have not given here till now, but I am telling f of x is a signal. That means what is the meaning of that one means there is a relation in between f and x. That means f is defined in terms of x. That means the dependent variable is defined in terms of the independent variable. So like this you have to remember. So signal is nothing but if you get this one f of x in your mind, then what is the meaning of that f of x is nothing but f is defined in terms of x, or the dependent variable f is defined in terms of the independent variable x. So this relation can be anything. For example, x plus 1, or it may be x square, or it may be x square plus 2, whatever it may be. The relation can be anything. But the f is defined in terms of x. That is the meaning of f of x. Okay, f is defined in terms of the x. That means f of x is equal to, if you see this relation, you can take any relation that should involve x. X is a variable, and remaining can be any operation can be done on that x. Okay, and one more thing is, here f of x is involving, or the f is involving only one independent variable only, that is x. Then we can tell that is one dimensional signal. It is one dimensional signal. Why it is one dimensional signal means only one independent variable is there. Okay, this is one particular classification of the signals: one dimensional, two dimensional, multi-dimensional signal, or here three dimensional signal. How can we tell one signal is one dimensional signal means it is having only one independent variable. So what is the example means, I can take f of x is equal to x square. It is one signal, and where the dependent variable f is involving the x. Okay, then two dimensional signal means, as I said, the f is a signal that should involve two independent variables. So how to represent that one? I should represent like this: f of x comma y, f of x comma y. With this we can able to tell that outside of the bracket what is there? F is there. So that is a signal, and that is a dependent variable. But within the bracket here two variables I have mentioned. So in this case the independent variables are two. Those are x and y. Okay, that's why this is nothing but two dimensional signal. Example is image. Image is the two dimensional signal. So it is equal to, I should give the equation for the f of x comma y in terms of x and y. Okay, in terms of x and y, the relation can be anything, but it should involve the two variables x and y, like x square plus y cube, and you can take anything, you can take plus 2. Okay, but the relation in between, or the relation this f and the independent variables should be involving the x term and y term. Okay, that can be anything. Okay, you can take xy also, no problem, or 2xy, whatever it may be, but the f is equal to x square plus y square plus 2 is representing the relation between the dependent variable f and the independent variables x and y. Okay, and coming to three dimensional signal, you can also tell now how to represent this particular three dimensional signal. That is f of, I need here three independent variables, that's why f of x comma y comma z, f of x comma y comma z, that is equal to, the relation should involve x y z now. Okay, I can take x y z only, simply x y z. You can take anything, but that should involve, that particular equation should involve the three variables now. If you forget about this z, only x y is there, then we cannot tell f is a function of x y z now. F is a function of x and y only. Okay, the f should depend on these three variables, then only that is correct. Okay, so in this way we will define the signal. So signal is nothing but, you can take any information. Okay, any information can be considered as a signal, and the next definition is, it is the function of one or more independent variables. So signal means, you can tell that one, it is a function of one or more independent variables. For example, it may be depending on one independent variable, then that is called one dimensional signal. Example, you can give anything: f of x is equal to x cube, or x square plus 2, or x only, whatever it may be, but the f should depend on only one independent variable. Next, if the function is depending on two independent variables like f of x comma y. Okay, if you take f of x comma y, the dependent variable f is depending on two independent variables, and that relation is involving x and y. Okay, and the three dimensional signal means, it is a signal depends on three independent variables like x y z. Okay, like x y z, and the relation should involve the three independent variables. You can take x plus y plus z, you can take x y z, or you can take x square y z cube, anything you can take, but that should involve the three independent variables. So this is the representation of the signal. Okay, Next, so here two graphical representations I have given. Whatever I have written till now, this is f of x is equal to x square, f of x comma y is equal to x square plus z plus y cube plus 2. All these things are mathematical representations. Mathematical representation of the signal f of x, mathematical representation of the signal f of x comma y, mathematical representation of the signal f of x comma y comma z. Now these two are representing the graphical representations. Okay, tabular representation is also there, tabular representation. So from this also we can tell the information. What is that information means? You see here on the y-axis generally we will represent the dependent variable. On the x-axis we will represent the independent variable. On the x-axis independent variable is available, independent variable. On the y-axis dependent variable is available, dependent variable. Okay, so you see here t is the independent variable we have taken. Here x is the independent variable. What is there within the bracket? That is independent variable. What is there outside the bracket? That is called dependent variable. So here x of t is the signal. Okay, not f of x. Okay, here x of t is the signal. So x is the dependent variable and t is the independent variable. Within the bracket what is there? T is there. So time is the independent variable that should be available on the x-axis, and the dependent variable is taken on the y-axis. So if you see this particular signal, when t is from 0 to 2, when t is from 0 to 2, the amplitude of this particular signal or the value of this particular signal is 1, and rest of the time the amplitude is 0. From 2 to infinity amplitude is 0, from minus infinity to 0 amplitude is 0. Okay, so two things you need to tell. In order to define the signal, remember this one very carefully. In order to define the signal, you need to tell, you need to give the information about its amplitudes for all values of independent variable. So in our subject we will deal with respect to time only. That means independent variable is time only. Okay, so from this time onwards I am taking independent variable is time only. So for all values of independent variable is nothing but for all values of t, for all values of t, the amplitude of the signal should be given. Then we can tell the signal has been defined. Okay, define x of t. From this graph, define x of t means what will you tell? Here t is available on the x-axis. For t, all values means what? From minus infinity to plus infinity. This is available on the x-axis, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. For all values of t, the x of t values should be given. It may be defined, it may not be defined, it may be 0, it may be 1000, or it may be infinity also. But we need to tell all values of x of t, sorry, for all values of independent variable, the amplitude of the signal should be given. Okay, should be given. So here I can tell when t is from minus infinity to, here the x-axis can be extended like this. Here when the t is from minus infinity to 0, what is the amplitude of this particular signal? 0 only. But when t is changing from 0 to 2, the amplitude is 1. It is fixed at 1. When t is from 2 to infinity, the amplitude is 0. So these three things we have to tell. Then we have covered the entire x-axis. We have covered the entire time axis. Okay, from minus infinity to 0, the amplitude is 0. From 0 to 2, the amplitude is 1. From 2 to infinity, amplitude is 0. So in this way you have to see the signal. Whenever one signal you are observing, you need to see the signal in such a way that what are the amplitudes are available for that signal for all values of t. Okay, and if you see this signal, another signal I have taken, this is also I have represented with x of t only for general purpose. So again that x of t is a signal, so x is a dependent variable that should be represented on the y-axis, and t is a independent variable because that is available within the bracket, that should be taken on the x-axis. So from minus infinity to minus 4, from minus infinity to minus 4, the amplitude of the signal is 0, and from 4 to infinity also the amplitude of the signal is 0, but from minus 4 to 0, from minus 4 to 0, it is a ramp signal, it is a ramp. Okay, the nature of the signal or the nature of the amplitude is increasing. Okay, as t is increasing from minus 4 to 0, the nature of the signal is nothing but its amplitude is increasing, so it is a positive ramp. All those things we will see later. Okay, and from 0 to 4, what is happening from 0 to 4? As time is increasing from 0 to 4, the slope of this particular signal is decreasing. When the amplitude is decreasing as time is increasing, that is having the negative slope. When time is increasing, if the amplitude is increasing, that is having the positive slope. So it is having positive slope, it is having positive slope, and it is having negative slope. Simple thing. When time is increasing from -4 to 0, the amplitude is increasing, that we can see from this one. So we can tell that is having the positive slope. If you calculate also, you will get positive slope only. As time is increasing from 0 to 4, the amplitude is decreasing, so it is having a negative slope. So this is a straight line with positive slope, this is a straight line with negative slope. You have the coordinates, you can able to calculate the line equation, straight line equation. So we have to define this particular signal in such a way that what are the amplitudes are available for all values of t. Okay, you need to know at each and every value of t what is the amplitude of this particular signal. Okay, you can tell now at t is equal to -100, what is the amplitude of this particular signal? 0. Okay, from -infinity to -4 is amplitude is 0, means -100 may be here, so here you will get amplitude is 0 only. At -10 also amplitude is 0 only. At -4 also amplitude is 0 only. But from -4 to 0, the amplitude is increasing, we don't know exactly. So what is this? It is a straight line, so you need to find the equation for this one. Okay, but in this case we did not find any equation because it is a constant value. From 0 to 2, it is having the amplitude is fixed, constant, that is 1. But in this case it is not constant, it is increasing as time is increasing, it is decreasing as time is increasing. So this is a straight line, this is a straight line with a positive slope and negative slope respectively. So we need to find the line equation for this one and the line equation for this one, because we have 2 points, we can able to calculate that one. So this is a basic lecture only. Afterwards we will see how to calculate all these things, how to write by, this is the graphical representation, we can write the mathematical representation by observing this one. Okay, so all these things we will see later. Now system. So our subject is signals and systems, that's why I have defined here signal, next system. So signal, that can be the input signal, that can be the output signal for any particular system. So first system we will see. System is a physical device. Okay, system is a physical device, you can take like this. It is one system, it is involving the signals. Okay, this is called system. Here arrow is going inside into the system, here arrow is going outside of the system. So whatever the representation we have given into the system, that is nothing but input. Okay, whatever the arrow is there which is coming out of the system, that is represented by output. Okay, so it is one signal, input signal we have to provide. That input signal will be processed by the system and we will get another signal. Whatever the another signal after processing we are getting, that is called output signal. Okay, and here only one input we have given and one output we are getting, that's why it is called, this particular system is called single input single output system. And in our subject also we will deal with SISO systems only, that is single input single output systems only. So system is nothing but what? It is the physical device which takes the input signal and processes the input signal within the system and produces the output signal. That is the definition of the system. Okay, what is signal we have seen? Now system takes the input signal, processes it and produces the output signal. Simple definition. Okay, so this is about what is signal and what is system. So I have introduced the subject to you in this lecture. Now here small assignment questions. So define signal and define system, just now we have discussed. Thank you.